the heartless father actually abandoned his daughter, who was under 15, on the cold, desolate highway. He then drove off with his first love and her daughter for a vacation, all because his daughter had spoken back to him a few times. He wanted her to remember this lesson, but he had no idea that this decision would haunt him for the rest of his life. Soon after, the girl was targeted by human traffickers. In desperation, she quickly dialed her mother's number, but before she could even speak, the traffickers stomped on the phone, crushing it. The sound from the other side instantly made her mother realize something was wrong. She rushed to call her husband, but he mistakenly thought their daughter was complaining to her mother. He coldly hung up the phone. Helpless, the woman turned to a friend for help. She hurried to her husband's workplace, only to be told he hadn't come to work that day. The clever woman immediately saw through the lie. Furious, she grabbed her colleague by the collar and told him about their daughter's disappearance. Shocked by the sudden news, the colleague reluctantly revealed the truth. It turned out her husband was on vacation with his first love and her daughter. Enraged, the woman demanded the colleague call her husband. As soon as the call connected, she grabbed the phone and confronted him about his whereabouts, but the man coldly snapped back, calling her a shrew for causing a scene at the hospital. He even criticized her for not raising their daughter properly. Then, he impatiently hung up to continue flirting with his first love and her daughter. At that moment, he had no idea that his own daughter was already in the hands of human traffickers, and the cause of all this was himself. It turned out that this morning, the first love had deliberately staged a car breakdown to keep the man's attention. She wanted him to help her while he was supposed to be taking their daughter to visit a university. When the first love and her daughter saw this, they asked to join, but the daughter strongly opposed. A heated argument broke out between them. The father happened to see this and, without asking any questions, demanded his daughter apologize to the first love. In his eyes, the first love, with her daughter, needed his help more. At that moment, the first love pretended to be upset. Her daughter even falsely claimed that the girl had bullied her at school. The man, feeling sympathy, insisted his daughter apologize to the first love's daughter, but the girl stubbornly refused. In his anger, the man slapped his daughter and kicked her out of the car, telling her to walk back. Unknowingly, the girl was already being targeted by traffickers, quietly being abducted. The traffickers were already discussing how to sell her. Fortunately, the girl remembered her mother's advice to always carry a small knife for protection. While the traffickers weren't paying attention, she quickly cut through the ropes binding her. Seizing the chance, she jumped out of the car and ran, but her luck didn't last long. She was soon captured again. Meanwhile, the mother finally realized her daughter was in serious danger. She immediately reported it to the police. The police quickly traced the traffickers based on the clues. Knowing where her daughter was, the mother rushed to the scene, but just as she drove off, her mother-in-law blocked her path.